the good Mormeck we're going to see. So who knows? That's what they say.
Here's David Haye coming out. His big night, maybe his last night at the cruiserweight. But we're not too we're not too convinced either way, are we? Certainly Frank Maloney's got something to say about it. He differs in opinion to David, who says this is it for him. He's going up to heavyweight after that.
We'll see.
Steve, what's your take?
Well, my take on that is he is a big boy. It's 14-4. The cruiserweight limit is not easy for him. He was 15-7 in his heavyweight fight earlier this year, and I think he can comfortably do 15-10, 16-1, 16-2, 16-3. That's my gut feeling. But it's about pound notes, and it's about the public demand. And if David wins tonight, let's make the fight, even if it's catchweight, involving Enzo and David Haye, because that is the biggest domestic fight since Eubank and Ben, since Eubank and Collins, since those fights, and they were 15, 16 years ago now.
Enzo, when he did go up to heavyweight for that one fight, and an impressive victory at that, he was 15 stone 7. He had to get down to 14-4, and he looked ripped for that 15-7 fight. So how much will that take out of him, if anything?
It depends which way he's done it. You know, he might have done it smart. He might have boiled down in the last week. It totally depends. You know, obviously, someone like Joe Calzaghe, who loses a lot of weight, he does it sensibly on fight night. Then he got all his stamina, all his strength there. It just basically depends which way you go about it.
Tail of the tape, you can see Haye considerably younger, and the far greater reach too.
And a bit of height as well. And getting back to Enzo's point, Enzo's absolutely right. Anybody, any good athlete can lose 2 stone. It depends how much time they've got and how to do it. David's been in northern Cyprus now since about May. This fight was meant to take place in September. It was postponed because of the Rugby World Cup, and that only helped David. I think he's taken the weight off comfortably because he would have put it back on. What would be interesting, Enzo, I don't know about you, I'd love to know what David Haye's weighing right now in that ring right now.
We've got the big fight, David Haye, Jean-Marc Mormeck. There you can see him, the title holder, the WBA, WBC Cruiserweight World Champion. Haye hoping to take those titles from him tonight in the outskirts of Paris. Let's get over there to the action now.
To O'Neill Bell, and then won him back in March of this year. And a very good, probably the fight of the year, or at least a candidate for it. There he is, Jean-Marc Mormeck. And the belts that this is all about.
Il vient de Londres, Grande-Bretagne. Il a 27 ans. Mesure 1m91.
David Haye is decked out primarily white, but the Union Jack, the color of the flag of the United Kingdom, England. And his manager, Frank Maloney, one of the most colorful guys in boxing, is all decked out in a full suit of the Union Jack, including red shoes.
Dans le coin bleu, il vient de Pantin, France, il a 35 ans, mesure 1m81, avec un poids de 90 kg 300 et un palmarès de 36 combats, 33 victoires, dont 22 par KO, 3 défaites.
The introductions continue to go on. We'll have 3 national anthems. The Italian national anthem will be sung by Frank Dana. The UK national anthem will be sung by Jean-Gabriel de Saint-Martin, and Jessica Parker will do the French national anthem. All that coming up here as Jean-Marc gets introduced to the crowd in attendance.
In the red corner, coming from London, Great Britain, with a record of 20 fights, 19 wins with 18 knockouts, 1 loss, David Haye.
David Haye gets introduced, and of course the boos come along with that because he's from the UK and not from France.
22 knockout and 3 loss. Is the current WBC, WBA Cruiserweight Champion of the World, Jean-Marc Mormeck!
Jean-Marc Mormeck to a rousing applause of the crowd in attendance here at the Marcel Soudan
Les juges de cette rencontre sont messieurs Ray Hawkins pour les États-Unis, Alejandro Rochin pour le Mexique et Guillermo Pineda pour Panama.
Mr. Judges, Guillermo Perez Pineda of Panama, Ray Hawkins, old friend from the USA, and Alejandro Rochin of Mexico. 3 fine judges.
Et nous allons tout de suite vous présenter les hymnes. les hymnes solennels pour ce
David Haye
championnat du
walking
monde.
around has a real serious look of confidence on his face. Trained by Adam Booth.
L'hymne italien sera interprété par Franck Dana en l'honneur de l'arbitre. L'hymne anglais sera interprété par le baryton Jean-Gabriel de Saint-Martin. Et la Marseillaise sera interprétée par une ancienne choriste de Johnny Hallyday,
So we
Jessica
start out with
Parker.
the Italian national anthem for the referee.
L'hymne italien par Franck Dana.
Fratelli d'Italia, l'Italia sede sta dell'elmo di Scipio del Vega, la testa dove la vittoria le porga, la chioma che schiava di Roma, il Dio la creò. Stringiamoci a corte, siamo pronti alla morte, siamo pronti alla morte, l'Italia chiamò. Stringiamoci a corte, siamo pronti alla morte, siamo pronti alla morte, l'Italia chiamò.
So Frank Dana with the Italian national anthem.
Mesdames et messieurs. Pour la Grande-Bretagne, Jean-Gabriel de Saint-Martin.
Next is the anthem of the UK. Jean-Gabriel de Saint-Martin will sing that.
God save our gracious Queen, long live our noble Queen, God save the Queen, save her victorious, happy and glorious, Lord to reign over us, God save the Queen.
Jean-Gabriel de Saint-Martin.
Jean-Gabriel de Saint-Martin. And next is Jessica Parker with the French national anthem.
Allons enfants de la patrie, le jour de gloire est arrivé. Contre nous de la tyrannie, l'étendard sanglant élevé, l'étendard sanglant élevé. Entendez-vous dans nos campagnes mugir ces féroces soldats? Ils viennent jusque dans vos bras, égorger vos fils et vos compagnes. Aux armes, citoyens!
And the French reaction to the national anthem. Great nationalistic pride here in France, as you would expect. So as the anthems are complete now, the fight is a long time to stay warmed up through three national anthems, but they look like they got a pretty good slick sweat build up on both of them. So they've warmed up sufficiently in their training rooms. This is a fight that can go a lot of different ways. Mormeck is expected to be the better boxer of the two. David Haye is expected to knock him out in the first 2 or 3 rounds. If it goes beyond 2 or 3 rounds, people say that Mormeck is stronger now than what he's been in his last several fights, and he could knock out Haye. So this is one of those fights that's terrific. It's a fight that has to happen. There are reasons both ways why this man, David Haye, could win, and the other man, the reigning champ, Jean-Marc Mormeck, who's 33-3, and this guy Haye is going to be dangerous early, and we expect to see Haye putting the world to hurt on Mormeck early. We'll see what happens. Mormeck with Richie Giacchetti, who suffered the stroke. Albanani working with him, and Dennis McKinney. David Haye is Adam Booth. Mick the Rub Williams also with him, and James Sawyer, his corner guy. So we're set to go. It's down to the 2. Promoter Frank Maloney says my guy can knock this guy out inside of 3, and then I'm off to the WBC convention. So we'll see what happens. Guido Cavalieri gives the finest final signal to start the fight, and here we go. David Haye, #1 ranked contender in the world, fighting for both championships, the WBA and WBC, currently held by Jean-Marc Mormeck. There was a lot of talk before the fight about the rules that they would use. They are not using unified rules of boxing because the WBA and WBC couldn't get together on that. So the scoring is kind of the French Federation of Boxing, 10-point must scoring system, no standing 8 count. There is a 3 knockdown rule because the WBA and WBC couldn't agree on it. The WBC, as you know, has no 3 knockdown rule. Fighting cannot be saved by the bell in any round, and only the referee can stop the fight. In case of an accidental foul, we go to the scorecards after the 4th round is complete. Haye hasn't been able to touch him up yet. Haye has got a considerable advantage in reach. He's got a 6.5-inch advantage in reach over Jean-Marc Mormeck. So Mormeck will want to get on the inside of this guy. Mormeck is a slick fighter. Haye is very quick with the hands. He's also quick on his feet. He probably would move up to heavyweight, as he fought his last fight at the heavyweight division, and he knocked out Thomas Bonin to try it at about 215 pounds. He certainly could fight at 225. He probably weighs 215 tonight, as does probably Mormeck. They're bigger than 200 pounds, that's for sure. Digging body shot by Haye. Mormeck hasn't opened up at all yet in the early going here, halfway through the 1st round. Haye backs off, and he does a lot of that. And when he backs off, he has a tendency to drop his left hand, and he can be hit by the right hand by Mormeck. And we don't know what happens to him if he gets nailed because we haven't seen it. This guy's 19-1. The only loss in his career was to Carl Thompson, and since then he's stopped 8 of 9 opponents. Mormeck cracks him with a little shot high in the forehead, left side. This guy really tees off to the body, does David Haye. Haye walks him down. This is a perfect way to fight this guy. You can't get hurt when you're walking the guy back on your heels. Now Mormeck comes forward. Mormeck hasn't opened up at all yet. Well, based on that, the first 2 minutes of this 1st round is David Haye, because Haye's been doing most of the work. Haye skips forward, gets that jab out there, catches a piece of the forehead. Now you hear Mormeck double jabs and then back with the right hand to the body. And I'll tell you one thing, as the uppercut comes by Mormeck, that Haye has got some confidence here. You'll hear anything that Mormeck does, you'll hear the crowd get into immediately. Haye's not intimidated by this guy at all. He's also 3 inches taller than Mormeck, so he's a bigger man. Mormeck goes to the body, and right back to the body is David Haye. I think Haye's having a good 1st round. Hasn't clipped him to the head yet, but he's had some nice body shots in there in round #1. I'm the Colonel Bob Sheridan. You're watching King Vision Worldwide, wherever you are. Glad that you can be here for this WBA, WBC Cruiserweight Championship of the World. Mormeck in black, and in the colors of the Union Jack, the flag of the UK, of course, is David Haye. Round 1, I give that to Haye. The judges, by the way, are Alejandro Rochin of Mexico, Ray Hawkins of Dallas, Texas, and Guillermo Perez Pineda of Venezuela.
But tell him what Richie said. He's got to jab and put more pressure.
It's Albanani working inside the ropes with them, and this is David Haye having the good 1st round. Mormeck comes back, nothing really lands here. David digs a good body shot right there.
All right, watch.
And he gets his jab through. Mormeck catches a little bit of the jaw, but nothing significant. Certainly, that was about all he did in the 1st round. So you heard Albanani tell the interpreter, tell him to jab more. Richie wants him to jab more and get busier. Let's see if he does it. Again, Mormeck in the black, and in the colors of the Union Jack with the white, primarily white trunks with the color of the flag is David Haye. Haye continues to walk forward as he's tied up by Mormeck, and that's good because Mormeck can't have any power and really counterpunch at all. And now referee Guido Cavalieri says, hey, you can't hang on. But that's all academic. Nice shots, nothing big landed except the finishing right-hand body shot. And this is the way he fights a lot. Mormeck can counter this guy because Haye likes to fight going back an awful lot. Jabs going back. Mormeck finally landed a punch. Chopping right hand, but no damage whatsoever.
Put them together, John. Put them together.
No big punch has been landed by David Haye as yet. And that's what at least Frank Maloney, his manager, and Don Majeski said. Watch this guy's power early, and I haven't seen it yet except some good body shots. Mormeck is slick. He rolls with the punches. He knows what he's doing in there. We saw him against O'Neal Bell where he got hit, and now Mormeck is putting the pressure on him, and that's what Richie Giacchetti called for through the translator for Mormeck to, keep putting the pressure on him. The first half of this round fairly even. I think Mormeck might be doing a little bit more right now than is David Haye. But Haye reaches with the right hand, touches him up to the left cheek. Jab, right hand by Mormeck. Wow, with the right hand, and then the left hook connects the hands of David Haye. Haye skips forward. I don't like when he skips forward with his hand down because Mormeck will time a right hand. This guy can be hit with a right hand. I can tell you that right now. As long as you're throwing shots like this, it doesn't make any difference. Mormeck trying to skip forward. If he sees that left hand down, all you got to do is hold your left hand out and keep it down and let your right hand fly. You can knock a guy out like that. But so far, David Haye hasn't fought anybody in the caliber of a Mormeck that could probably pick that up and do it, because this guy fighting as a cruiserweight is very, very strong and heavy-handed. Mormeck is in tremendous physical condition. This guy looks awkward at times, so if you question anything about his legs and whatnot, that's just the way this guy fights. Look at him, right on top of him. That's the experience, rolling with the punches. Getting on the inside. Mormeck having a better round number 2 than he had round number 1, but that's as he put pressure on David Haye. Caught him with the right hand, spun the head of Haye. 20 seconds to go in round 2. Mormeck might be in the process of stealing this round from Haye. Haye comes back, punishing body shot. I don't know if Mormeck can take these shots throughout the course of the fight. Haye may have a tendency to fade if we get into the 6, 7, 8, 9 rounds. We know Mormeck won't. All right, the bell ends the second round. It's a very soft bell here, so if guys are throwing at the bell slightly after, it's not their fault, in my opinion. I don't know. That's a close round to call. I think the judges will probably give it to Mormeck. Adam Booth, Mick Williamson, Kenny Sawyer. Mick also works with Ricky Hatton.
Tell him to cut the rings back up and run.
Nick the Rub, the nickname. He's one of the best over there in England.
Don't stand in front of him.
Watch the counter right hand. Misses the left. Boom, there's that right hand. And I told you this guy's exposed to a right hand. Mormeck didn't quite catch him flush with it, but that right hand is there. Watch the left glove of David Haye. He has a tendency to hang it and skip forward. And again, all Mormeck has to do is extend his left hand and then throw the right hand over, and he can catch him right on the chin anytime he wants, if Haye continues to do that. And let's see if he does. Here we go, round number 3. He hangs the left a little bit low, and you can get away with that with probably most of the caliber of fighters that he's been fighting. Whether he can get away with it tonight is what this fight's all about. And Mormeck has been down the road against some of the very best in this division, including O'Neal Bell and Wayne Braithwaite and Virgil Hill. But he hasn't fought too many guys who would have the power of David Haye. And Haye hasn't been able to land a big shot to the head thus far. In his last time out, Haye knocked out Bonin in the first round. But he hasn't been able to catch Mormeck, partially because Mormeck fought the first round very cautiously. Mormeck in the black trunks tries to keep pressure on Haye in the white trunks with the UK flag. Red, white, and blue. So it's Haye to the left of your screen, Mormeck to the right of your screen. Minute gone here in round number 3. I'm the Colonel Bob Sheridan. You're watching King Vision. We're coming to you from the Palais des Sports Marcel Cerdan in Louvellois in France. Glad that you're with us wherever you're watching. Gino Cavalieri, third man in the ring, good referee from Italy, WBC official. There's a right-hand lead that time by Mormeck. Nothing behind it, really, but the crowd gets into it every time Mormeck does anything. Vicious body shots. So far, the best shots of the night have been by David Haye with his left hooks to the body. Nice slick move by David Haye. See now what Frank Maloney was telling me about how nice and slick he is on his feet. That's nice movement there. Now he gets caught back into the ropes and he pushes his man back. When you catch him like that, you want to hook your right hand around the left arm and walk him back. He didn't do it that time, and Mormeck escapes. Mormeck is very, very slick, rolls with punches, and here's Haye again coming in. Stepped on each other's feet. Guido says, hey, keep it nice and clean, guys. As that vicious left hook to the body again. Pretty soon you're going to see Mormeck with his right hand come down and protect those ribs, because you can't continue to take vicious shots like that. What he's going to do is go back downstairs. You see again, man, I can't believe that Mormeck hasn't seen how exposed the left side of the face is. With him hanging that left hand down, he's wide open for a counter right hand. And Mormeck is going to see it. He jabs. There's a looping right hand, partially blocked in the gloves by Mormeck. Mormeck is very, very slick in there, and that's part of the reason why Haye hasn't been able to catch him yet upstairs. But he's hit him with some vicious body shots. As I say that, he clipped him pretty good high in the left cheek. Okay, the belly ends round 3. Another tough round to score. I don't know, because of the viciousness of the body shots, I got to give that round to Haye. So I'm back and forth. These are, I mean, the stuff upstairs and the boxing is Mormeck's, but Haye with the, you know, in professional boxing, it's damage doled out, and I think those body shots are taking a toll. It's certainly damaging.
He's all right. John.
Yeah.
Just keep letting them, let your punches go. Throw them. You'll catch him.
Comes forward, and finally there's a right hand. But, you know, he's going to load up that right hand. What happened that time was Mormeck got his right shoulder forward, and then he reached with his right hand. He's got to come in and just let his left hand go by that eye and then throw the right hand behind it, and he can take his head off. Even if he doesn't let the left hand go by the eye, just drop it down on his hand, because David Haye is giving him, exposing the whole left side of his body. He's wide open for the right hand. And certainly Richie Giacchetti, who's handled the likes of Larry Holmes and Mike Tyson, would pick things up like that. If they can translate it to him, watch Mormeck pick it up. See that left hand down again? This is by design right now, because he's coming back with those vicious left hooks to the body. But again, that time Mormeck was caught reaching with the right hand instead of setting it up better and getting himself in. He's getting too squared up when he gets in tight. And then that means that Mormeck will lack the power when he comes in. This is the angle he's got to come in at. There's the right hand there, but that's not the one I'm looking for. That'll be there all night. David Haye, on the other hand, really needs to get that left hand up a little bit, but you know, he's hitting with such great body shots. I don't want to criticize the way he's fighting the fight. This is the first time I've actually seen him in action, and I like what he's doing against Mormeck. After all, I got him winning 2 of the first 3 rounds. Touches up, jabs, and walking back. I like that on his heels. Doing a nice job walking Mormeck back. That hand down again. You watch for it. Sooner or later, this Mormeck has got to pick this up. Oh, and he hits him with a good shot, and he hurt him. Hit him with the right hand, and he's down. He caught him with the left hand, and then he followed it up with the right. Haye scrambled. It counts up to 7 and 8, and he jumps right back up. But you know something, folks? His legs aren't there. I told you that side was exposed. And when Mormeck got him in trouble, he knew what to do with the right hand. Now, can Haye survive this? A lot of time. 126. Mormeck comes in. And if he can possibly finish him off, he'll try to do it. He knows how to finish. David Haye down here in the 4th round, and his legs aren't totally back. Haye continues to hang that left hand down. He seems to be back, but he's wobbled on his legs. Mormeck comes forward, catches him, just misses the right hand. David Haye is still exposed with the left side. And Mormeck has realized that he throws the right hand, catches him again with the right hand, but he doesn't dump him, but it took an effect in his knees. I'll tell you this, David Haye is ready to go again, but he comes back and clips him with a pretty good shot. Mormeck shouldn't have complained about it because he's given the chance. Mormeck really shouldn't have complained because it stopped his momentum. He should have jumped right on him when he hit him behind the head, because it took the referee about 10 seconds to explain it to him. And meanwhile, I think David Haye might have his legs back. He's up on his toes a little bit, just a little bit slightly heavy in the heels. But remember, he's open for that right all night. And especially when he turns his body like this. Mormeck knows it. He set it up with a left hook and a right hand that dropped David Haye. And then he hit him with another following right. And he's hitting him again at will. So Mormeck has decided that if he's going to hang the left, I'm going to take advantage of it. Haye has got to get that up there. There's the right hand again. The bell ends the fourth round. Again, it's a very light bell, so they're going to continue. That's a great round for Mormeck. That's a 2-point round for him.
What shot was it? What shot was it?
So Mormeck wins 2 and 4, but he wins the fourth round 10-8, putting him in front in the fight. Watch this. Left hook right there, and the right hand just grazed him. He really didn't get as deep into him with the right hand as I thought, but he gets him again here.
How do your legs feel now? All right.
He did a nice job scrambling. Watch Haye when he gets hit and realizes he's in a bit of trouble. He does a nice job. Now see, he goes down, and partially, you can't see it in that shot, but his right foot slipped on a pad that's on the canvas here, and that causes him problems. See, he slips, and his legs go from underneath him, and he scrambles to get his balance back, and in the meantime, Mormeck jumped on him. So he got a little bit of help from that pad. Here we go, round 5, the Colonel Bob Sheridan here. You're watching King Vision, Palais des Sports, Marcel Cerdan, Louvernois, France, in the white trunks with the Union Jack flag of the UK, and he catches Mormeck with a left hook that time. Mormeck holds his hands high. This guy, David Haye, could be like a wounded animal, and that he's still dangerous. He's teeing off to the head now. No more body shots. He's going to the head. The chant continues, Mormeck, Mormeck. There's the left hook upstairs. He's throwing more headshots in this round than I've seen at any other round in the fight for David Haye. And that had to be called for from his corner. Remember the big question in this fight, would Mormeck be able to survive the first 3 or 4 rounds? Well, he's done that. Now the question is, can Haye have himself in condition enough to survive the middle rounds of this fight? Because the late rounds, we know Mormeck is going to be very strong. All that's neutralized if you get cracked with the right hand, though. And Haye has considerable power. His legs, by the way, are totally back. Doesn't have one of those body shots. But Mormeck is in such tremendous physical condition. So far, he's been able to hold up to it. Chopping right hand again. Haye knows what to do when he's on the inside. I like the fact that, you know, when he slipped and that leg went from underneath him, that he scrambled. Uppercut, right hand again. That left hand is altogether too low as far as I'm concerned, but that's the way Haye fights. And again, he's been getting away with it. He's 19-1 with 18 knockouts. But this is a very clever fighter that he's in against tonight, Jean-Marc Mormeck. Jean-Marc to the right of your screen in black, in the white trunks of the Union Jack. There's the right hand again. Right hand's there on the light. The left hook cracked into the right side of the face, and Haye comes back with a couple of awkward shots of his own with a little over a minute to go here in round number 5. Interesting fight. And the thing I liked about it is coming into the fight, there were a lot of reasons why either guy could win. Left hand gets through. This is a good boxing round so far for Mormeck. David Haye has had his moments, especially those crushing body blows that he's able to land. But remember, he started out the round going upstairs more than in any other round of this fight. Uses his shoulder. Boy, Mormeck has got to be just drooling to throw the right hand. And he comes in. Sneaky, the guy comes with an uppercut. Look at this again. Mormeck is seeing things now. He's totally aware of what David Haye is trying to do. Haye loads up the right hand, and it skips past the ear of Jean-Marc. David Haye is slick. He's strong. Misses his uppercut bid. He's got that look, a real cocky look on his face. David Haye, if he wins this, will be one of the most popular guys in England. Because, not to take anything away from Joe Calzaghe, but the bell ends. That was a pretty good round for Haye. It's one of those very close rounds. I don't know how you score that round. I'm going to just score it even because there wasn't too much between them. The judges won't score that round even, though. So we'll remember that if it goes to the scorecards later on and it's close and it gets controversial.
John, you're doing good. You're doing good. But do your combination.
That's the interpreter there talking in his ear. Richie Giacchetti giving the signals as the uppercut catches him. And back with those body shots. And while the body shots usually, you know, you break the body down, they say the head will follow, but to this point, the head hasn't followed. And that to me is a very, very close round, the 5th round. All right, we're getting ready to go to round number 6. This is scheduled for 12, the WBA WBC Cruiserweight Championship of the World. Mormeck with his back to in the black trunks. David Haye with the colors of the flag of the UK and the white trunks. Big, strong guy. He was down in the 4th round. A left hook and right hand dropped him, and then he slipped on the ring pad. And is Mormeck coming in again? And Guido Cavalieri says, hey, keep the hands up. I didn't notice any low blows myself there, but hey, he's right on top of it. There's that left hand down again by Haye, and I continue to point that out because I just have a feeling that sooner or later it's going to play a key role in this fight. Another fairly low blow that time by Mormeck below the hip. And, you know, he's going head hunting with the right hand. He loves the fact that that left hand is down, but he wasn't able to click on it either time. Nice, tough uppercut by David Haye. Haye cracks him with the left hand. Haye really needs to get up on his toes. He's got the speed. He loads up the right hand, partially blocked that time by Mormeck. Mormeck counters with his own right hand. The right hand is there all night for Mormeck. And now he drags Haye across. This is a big ring, by the way. I don't really know who it favors because Mormeck rolls with his punches and wants to move away from the big guy. And the big guy is very quick on his feet, so, you know, it doesn't hurt him any either. So it's kind of a quits as far as who has the advantage here in the big ring. Haye skipping forward, having a pretty good 6th round here now. Loads up the right hand. He caught Mormeck. Nice uppercut. But he hasn't been able to shift Mormeck. Mormeck better not toy with this guy because this guy has considerable power. And you're fighting a guy that's a legitimate heavyweight, and I think that David Haye will become a legitimate heavyweight in his career no matter what happens in this fight tonight. You know, he had about 8 or 10 weeks to get ready for this fight. Was originally scheduled for September. And according to my pal Frank Maloney, he thought that would favor him in losing weight, not having to drop from 215 down to 200 in a fast manner. But nonetheless, the guy might want to be able to carry 215 pounds into a fight. That puts him in the in-between size as a heavyweight. So ideally, tonight's the night for David Haye to win the Cruiserweight Championship of the World, defend it once or twice, and then go on up to heavyweight. The guy's 27 years of age, and he gets into 30, he's going to carry it. That seems to be the age of the heavyweights now anyway, in their prime. Haye skipping forward, continues to hang that left hand low. Mormeck feints out, light jab, pushed away. I think this is a Haye round in my book. Closing seconds now of the 6th round. Mormeck hasn't done much in the 6th round at all. And there's the bell, right at the bell. Haye was in the process of throwing it. That's a Haye round. So I've got this fight dead even after 6 rounds.
Your eyes are all right now. All right, have I got it? What's that gum shield? Water. Keep nice and still. Perfect.
Feeling good, yeah?
32 punches.
Cool.
All right?
Yeah.
You're well within, Dave. Round 7.
Cool.
All right? So you've got to make sure you keep the discipline and win the round. He's only got 2 assaults in him in a round.
Okay.
All right? Make him box.
See Haye doing a nice job here.
Make him box. Defense. Defense. That's exactly what I'm chatting about.
All right.
All right? Deep breath.
I got it scored 57-57 after 6, so it's dead even. David Haye was down in the 4th round. 5th round too close to call. We got to remember that. And Haye has won the 1st. On my score sheet, the 3rd and the 6th. 5 too close to call for me. But if some of the judges have it, you know, for one guy as opposed to the other, then that's where the fight stands right now. But it's close after 6. Again, I pointed out to you because I still have a feeling it's going to be a factor before this fight's over. Haye carrying that left hand low. But Mormeck, if he doesn't have the left shoulder turned in, he can't get a lot of power with the right hand. if he's squared up like he is right now. When Mormeck comes in and his shoulders are squared in, even with David Haye exposing his left side, Mormeck can't really land a vicious blow. And his David Haye caught him with a couple of pretty good shots, vicious body shots. Well, he's landed that right-hand power shot to the body throughout. Now Mormeck's starting to get hit, and down he goes. Mormeck may not be able to recover from this. He really blasted him. It's up to 4 and 5 and 6. It looks like he'd be ending it up at 7 and 8. Barely up as Jean-Marc Mormeck. It's all over. David Haye knocked out Jean-Marc Mormeck. It'll be scored as a 7th round technical knockout victory. Guido Cavalieri looks into the eyes of Jean-Marc Mormeck, and we have a brand new WBA, WBC cruiserweight champion of the world. His name is David Haye. Look at this. Watch this. Right there, he cracked him with the left hand. Caught enough of the wrist with the right hand. Vicious body shots, but it was the uppercut that did the damage. Skipping forward, cracks him right by the ear, and that's all she wrote. Watch this shot coming up. He's turning his head away, a little bit behind the ear, but when the guy's turning away, there's nothing you can do about it. You see his hand come right up. A tremendous knockout victory. It'll be scored as a TKO because, as a matter of fact, Mormeck did get up. But looking into the eyes, Guido Cavalieri said, no, you can't continue. And David Haye is a brand new WBA Cruiserweight Champion of the world. So he's done it. Congratulations to Frank Maloney and Don Majeski and all the guys in the corner, Adam Booth, Mick Williams, James Sawyer did a great job getting him ready. Haye able to escape any problems that resulted from hanging the left hand low. He just had too much power, and that was the great thing about this fight from the get-go. You wonder where the career of Mormeck goes, if this will be it for him now. Because this kid David Haye has got some kind of power. And to David Haye's credit, he was knocked down in the 4th round, although there was a bit of a slip that was involved there. He scrambled and he recovered. And the 5th round was a very close round, but I thought Haye definitely won the 6th round, which got him even. And then the 7th, for all practical purposes, a KO victory for David Haye because it was the power shot that knocked him down. And again, it'll be scored as a TKO victory because Mormeck did get up, but David Haye, boy, he unleashed the power, and when he did, that's all she wrote. So the powerful young David Haye at 27 years of age, and he's a guy that is going to be reckoned with probably for a couple of more fights in the cruiserweight division, and then maybe, England, you've got yourself another heavyweight. Who knows? After all, it was Frank Maloney who engineered the beginning of the career of Lennox Lewis and did a great job.
Well done, amazing fight, amazing.
And a tough night for Jean-Marc Mormeck. Things were going his way, and it seemed to turn around in the 5th round, and Mormeck had him down in the 4th and couldn't finish him off. And then, man, he got cracked with that left hand. Watch this right. Yeah, that was partially blocked on the wrist and the glove, but it still jarred the head. This was earlier in the fight when Mormeck was putting pressure on David Haye. Haye able to avoid the big right hand shot, and then that uppercut is what set it up. That uppercut snapped the brain stem, and then the right hand right on the ear, or slightly behind it. It's academic because he was turning away, and he picks it.
Well, what a comeback by David Haye. We'll have all the reaction in the studio to that victory, including from Enzo Macrinelli, the WBO Cruiserweight World Champion. Will those two meet? Who knows? Join us again after the break. More world-class boxing still to come on Setanta Sports. In the wee small hours of the morning, 3 a.m. to be precise, Miguel Cotto against Shane Mosley for the WBA welterweight title. Cotto currently owns it. He has a 30-0 record. And in coming weeks, we've got more world-class boxing as well, including on the 23rd of November, Fernando Vargas against Ricardo Mayorga, a real grudge fight, that one. And then from Glasgow, Saturday the 15th of December, Alex Arthur against Steve Foster Jr. Join us for that one, December the 15th.
Du monde des poids lourds légers, David Haye!
And that makes it official as David Haye is the brand new WBA and WBC Cruiserweight Champion of the world. And a great victory. So there's all kinds of guys like Steve Cunningham, Christoph.
Well, there he is, the man himself, David Haye, with a comeback victory tonight. A TKO in the 7th. Alongside me, Steve Bunt and Enzo Macronelli. Enzo, first of all, your take on that performance and that victory?
Well, first of all, I would say it's a cracking fight. You know, I really enjoyed the fight. I think it was a tale of two things. I think everyone said that Haye was going to blow him out early. Mormeck dragging past 5-6 rounds. Haye will fold. I think, to me, it seemed the other way round. It seemed, after 6 rounds, I think Mormeck started tiring. He started standing square on. And he was letting Haye hit him with them big uppercuts. But, you know, take nothing away from Haye. He got hurt badly in the 4th round. Mormeck let him off the hook. You know, he come back well and he knocked the other guy out. You know, can't fault that.
The overall picture from what you saw of Haye tonight, is he somebody you would like to take on next time out?
I want to fight the best in the world, and you know, obviously after tonight, he's a WBC, WBA champion. You know, he's one of the best. Steve Cunningham, the IBF champion, he's claiming to be the best. I'm claiming to be the best. Let's get it all together and let's find out who is the best, because I'm willing to do that.
You're seeing things tonight that appeal to you in your style, though.
Oh, of course I do. Do you know what I mean? I won't go into too much detail, but he's doing a lot of things wrong, but he showed plenty of heart. You know, he does a lot of things right as well. You know, I just like what I see. I think Mormeck seemed to get tired later on, which he had done in the past before. And you know, you can't fault Haye. He got dropped heavily in the 4th round. Let's be honest, he got dropped heavily. And then when he come back and he took his boy out with a right hand on the back of the ear in the 7th round, what can you say?
Now here's the thing here, going into the 7th round, Mormeck's in front in this fight, okay? He's won 3 rounds, Haye's won 3 rounds, but Mormeck has the knockdown from the 4th, so he's a point in front. And suddenly, it was in the 6th round, really, he does seem to tire. We thought, Enzo and I, it's a great tactic. He's making David throw 180 seconds of punches. It wasn't, it's because Mormeck suddenly had nothing left. He'd had his go in the 4th, he'd had his go in the 5th when he chased Haye around. Suddenly, he has nothing left. But he was winning at that point, and I'm sure that the 3 judges at ringside, they'll probably have him winning even bigger.
We can hear from the winner, I believe, David Haye, on the outskirts of Paris with a famous victory tonight. Let's hear from him.
We're here with the new Cruiserweight champion for Santanta. It's the first time the fans in England have seen you on Santanta. What would you like them to know about your skills as a heavyweight and a Cruiserweight champion?
I think what I want to say is you saw an explosive fight there. You saw me very weight drained in there, and as he hit me with his shot, my legs completely went. You know, I was a bit, when I went down, I thought, oh, you know, my legs felt really shaky. But I thought, okay, I'm a champion. I've got heart. Get up, work your way through it. This guy's a big puncher, and every time he was hitting my arms, I could feel it. But me and Adam Booth working hard in North Cyprus in our training camp, you know, we got it right perfectly. But this guy was a tough guy. He's a great cruiserweight. But I showed class, and I showed patience, and I showed that what you have to show to be the #1 fighter in the world.
It's the patience that I noticed right away in round 1, that you were super focused. Even when you got tagged later in the 6th, you came right back looking at him. How did you keep your patience and avoid going for the big right?
Believe it or not, it was fights like the Ismail Abdul fights, which were completely boring for the fans, but we worked on the strategy and I held it together. Just like this fight, the old David Haye would have got stuck in, you know, and particularly with this weight, the weight making, I would have probably run out of steam. So I know I had to pace myself, something that I won't have to do at heavyweight. I think once I go up to heavyweight, I'll be able to throw a lot more punches, simply because I won't have had to take off 2 stone before the fight. But I'm glad that this is my last fight at cruiserweight, and I'm glad that I got the win, and, you know, representing everyone in Britain. You know, there's Joe Calzaghe representing, he's #1. There's me now #1. Let's hope Ricky Hatton can go and do that, take the title. Go Ricky, and let's go and beat Mayweather. And you've got 3 of the top fighters in the world. And if there's anybody out there, and I'm sure there's Enzo Macronelli, he's going to 100% want to fight. He's a good fighter. He wants to fight for his belts. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be defending these belts. We can have a fight, no doubt about it, but it's going to have to be at heavyweight. Because as you saw in that, when I got tagged, the legs aren't there at cruiserweight, but they'll be there at heavyweight. So let's get that fight. And I know it's a fight that the fans want. So I'm a free agent. Let's make the fight happen.
Well, Mappinelli was in the studio watching your match tonight. Would you ever go to Cardiff to fight him?
I'd go anywhere. I've come over to Paris in this guy's hometown to fight the world champion. I would love to go to Cardiff. Cardiff fans are great. You had 50,000 people for Joe Calzaghe. Even though they wouldn't be cheering for me, still the atmosphere. I'll soak up the atmosphere. So I'd love to make that fight. It's a great fight for the fans. Enzo McInerney, let's make it happen. Unfortunately, it's not going to be for these belts. It's going to have to be a heavyweight. So let's just get it on.
Well, there you go, Enzo. He wants to fight. He wants it at heavyweight, though. So your reaction?
No, you know, I have to admire him. He's he's totally honest about the fourth round. He's very respectful, as I am of him. You know, he's a good fighter, and he knows I want them belts.
But you can't get the belts.
Exactly. I don't think for a minute it's going to happen at heavyweight. For a minute, my ultimate ambition is jump up to heavyweight, and then the fight can happen. But I make this limit way too easy. I'm 14 stone now, 4 pounds under the weight after the week after the fight. The fight is great. He'd fight me in my own backyard. I'd definitely jump up to London, and we'll have a scrap in London. Wherever it can happen, I think it's the British fans that are going to lose out if this don't happen, and myself, because this is a fight I really do